All right, we just watched Hellbent.
No, Heaven Sent.
That's right. You
Heaven
were paying
Sent.
attention. And I consider it the best Doctor Who of the new run. So Eric had never seen it, and
It was a trip. His
confession dial.
yeah, he's stuck in the confession dial, and how he had to reason it out that that's what and just that he was and how he had to get out of it all the years and years. And he didn't time travel. He was stuck there all those years.
Nearly 4 billion.
It was crazy, to the point where the stars were not even the same in the sky when you look up, and yeah.
And those were all his skulls.
Yeah, all the skulls were his, all under the water. It was like, wow. So yeah, Doctor Who is out there, man. I love it. And again, longest running science fiction series in television history. It's awesome. And for anybody who hasn't really taken the time to go discover your Doctor Who, highly recommend it.
So what did you think? Now, see, I have some issues with it. Like, what about happened when it started? Were there clothes there already there? Dry clothes for him? I guess you could reason it out because it is a confession dial. It would do what, or...
Well, I don't know. The way it started and then the way it came full circle, I just took it that...
It was always there. There was always
it was just always there, yeah.
All right, then the next
or
issue...
at least,
okay.
It had been there enough that by the time we get to the...
He's not running around naked.
He was already, in it
Yeah.
long enough to have gotten his clothes back or whatever, yeah.
The other issue I have is that, so it takes about, what did he say, about 2 days before a Time Lord dies. So as he's busting through the diamond to break out of the confession dial, he keeps going in further and further, therefore making it longer and longer for him to get back to the transmat to do the whole thing over again. So how does that work? It just one of those little things you gotta kind of just, it's all right.
Yeah, it was one of those suspension of disbelief kind of things,
And all right, so with those two things, you don't have a problem with it. You're just like, it's all right.
Yeah,
it's not a make or break sort of situation,
right? And it's not like this gaping plot hole that we see in
so many
other content.
Yes, or I haven't.
Or it's just because it's Doctor Who, you can kind of get past it because it just is so existential.
There you go.
Other things that are just a little bit more realistically or
it's far-fetched
more grounded.
That
it is a bit far-fetched in a given context, but for Doctor Who, because it's so existential,
so it's not.
You can buy it.
So Hank's phrase, "Thinking leads to overthinking." Just you got to go with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this iteration of the Doctor, at least up until the end of this season, you can go with it because it's Malcolm fucking Tucker.
Yeah.
Just great stuff. So, anything else?
No, I just, like I say, man, I
was it heavy to you? Was it like, did it enthrall you, or did you? When did you find out what was going on at the very end, or were there clues?
No, I could see what was happening toward the end, but when it finally was
came together,
apparent that he was stuck in this confession dial, and he got himself out of it, and sure enough, there it was on the ground. It was one of those that made you wonder what the hell's really going on until it finally revealed itself, and then okay, of course that's what it was.
So it kept you engaged.
But it was very engaging, yes, and I like stuff like that where it keeps you guessing, and you're just like, what the. Something's going on, and I'm sure it's going to be, made clear, but and it's fun to try to speculate what
Yes.
you think is going on,
Yes.
and it's even more fun when your speculation is just not right, and what
And it's
what,
even
what
better
it,
than what you were
what
thinking.
it turns out, is better than what you thought, and so not like so many things where, you like what we've commented on in the recent trend
Videos?
in entertainment
Yes.
is you see it coming a mile away, and you could have done better.
Yeah.
So when it finally comes to a head, you're like, yeah, I saw that coming, whatever.
Or it's not even interesting, or it just dissipates into the ether and it doesn't have a resolution.
Right, and it is not something that you didn't see coming.
And it wasn't something engaging enough to keep you
I
watching
love it
the
when
show.
I see things that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And,
So it's about engagement.
it's like Angel Heart.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go too off topic on that, but Angel Heart, man, the last 5 minutes of the movie will blow your mind. It's one of those, and you did not see that coming at all. No spoilers. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. Sit through Angel Heart, and because Anyway,
You recommend this episode.
yeah, I recommend Doctor Who in general. I mean, again, I haven't taken as much time to be as into it as I should, being who I am. But I'm no stranger to it.
He told me that he didn't see as many as he thought he should, or that I thought he had. I thought he had been up to date. On
I'm not
all
a
of it.
Whovian to speak of.
And I'm no longer a Whovian because I don't need to be preached to about me being a white male. I've already been called a Nazi, so I'm whatever.
Right. I do know that historically what it is that the longest running series, and I've seen documentaries about it, and I have seen my share of some of the classics, the Tom Baker stuff especially, but just for whatever reason, just never take the time to just sit down and really dig deep into my Doctor Who. So I'm really enjoying it.
All right,
So
share, and subscribe.
Share and subscribe on that note. Yes.